Put them under house arrest. They have taken away their phones. So the police is committing atrocities. If anything, the police, the chief minister, and the judges and everyone, these are the people who should be arrested and put in prison, because they are committing atrocities against citizens of India, against SC/ST people of India. So this little boy, he somehow escaped that police dragnet from his home, and he was able to speak to the media, maybe 10, 12 years old, and he said the police beat the uncle of Manisha. They kicked him on his chest and he fell unconscious. The brutality is so profound, and all the institutions are in it. The police, the ministers, the IS, the IPS, no one has any moral fiber left to stand up to such a heinous crime. So it is left to the people, I think, the right-minded, justice-loving people who are out to annihilate caste, to slash patriarchy, who love everyone's freedom, who loves the democratic society. Everyone of us have to stand up to each other and find there is no hope from the institutions. The Chief Justice of India was accused of sexual assault and he escaped that because of political connections. So there is absolutely no hope left in any of these institutions.
We are all gathered here on such a sad occasion, and just building on what Venkat and said and what Somnath said. The situation is so dire that while this 19-year-old who was working hard in the fields, the state that supports this completely Brahminical state, patriarchal state, where the police, the judiciary, and all the political establishment is day in, day out, so supporting all the murderers. So there was an interview that just came out of this girl naming the people, naming exactly what, and that is, and we still have a state that has not started arresting, they have not started, and this is not a surprise. Like was said earlier, this has been happening on a quite a regular basis because the state itself is very Brahminical and patriarchal, and also it uses every thing, every rule, every law to ensure that justice is not done. Whether you see in terms of rapes, if you see the prosecution, you see the number of complaints filed, the number of people actually put in prison for that. So we have to demand, and then one last thing I just want to say is that the chief minister, right, who's the head of the state, who himself is so Brahminical and patriarchal, that he uses the Manu Smriti to justify, and he has gone into the parliament and used the Manu Smriti, the ugliest document, to justify all of this in the past. I mean, and so he has to resign. There is no, Dalit lives matter, and the chief minister of UP, Yogi, should resign immediately. The home minister, who is responsible for security, should completely resign immediately. And justice should be done to each and every victim of this Brahminical, patriarchal violence and assault.
I think I must remind everyone here that Yogi Adityanath, or his real name is Ajay Bist, is a chief minister who during his campaign speech had said that the bodies of the Muslim women should be exhumed and raped. So we can imagine what kind of state the Uttar Pradesh has become. And this is not an incident that has happened in isolation. I mean, after this, there have some 18 rapes that have happened in UP. 11 of the victims, of the 18 victims, are minors. And I mean, at least in this particular case, there is a law in place actually where you are not supposed to reveal the identity of the victim. And in this particular case, the spokesperson of BJP, the ruling party, himself revealed the name of the victim. He also revealed the video in which she had named a few accused friends. Actually, a journalist who works in Uttar Pradesh, she happened to record the incidents when the body was not handed over to the family. The family was locked in a house and they poured petrol on her body and burnt her. This definitely had happened to burn the evidence by burning her body. Now the post-mortem report says that there is no injury on her body. There is no sign of any injury on her body. When the doctor himself of Safdarjung Hospital, he himself had said that her spinal cord had broken at 3 places. But the post-mortem report does not mention that injury. This is not only patriarchal, this is extremely casteist that has happened, this incident, and the ideology behind the entire incidents and the number of rapes that have been happening. And these atrocities are happening not only in Uttar Pradesh but across the country. At least a few media houses and publications and channels have written against this. Thankfully, they took a stand at least in this particular case, and I always believe that it is the media's responsibility to tell the truth and shame the devil. At least in this case, it is happening.
It's a very sad moment, and we've had a lot of these sad moments. And for women, it really has been thousands of years. And the other connection I would like to make, it doesn't just happen in India, it's happening here. So what is it? What's the connection? Yes, we can say patriarchy, but there's a lot more. And here it's racism, there it's casteism. So I think we really need to try to imagine, first of all, a new kind of world in which we have to rid ourselves of this kind of quality that exists in us. How do we do that? And I think that conversation is so important for us because this continues. We see it every day, and all women are always on the margin of being careful where they are, what they do, who they're with, how they dress. So it's a continuous violence of a certain type. So I think we really need to, I can't live here by just being here and then going home. Something else, the motion of why is it happening, and then how do we create a new situation? How do we create a new world? Because it's happening in the world. And for me, one of the most important things that we've had 300, 400, 500 years of liberalism, and it's in liberalism that this is continuing on. So I think we need to look at what is this liberal capital society and how does it promote these kind of things that exist. So I think we need to do our homework of how to imagine a new world and what to do with this world that we have. Thank you.